All right, y'all. Welcome back to another good show here we got going on. We have somebody that comes in. She wears a different amount of different hats. She has her hands in a little bit of everything. Also, she's a full-time mother as well. Welcome in, Victoria. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. I had the opportunity to go over to some of your content that you had available, and I see that you got your hands in a little bit of everything. Uh, Tell me a little bit about the businesses that you got, please.
So I've been doing shipping and logistics for about 8 years now. I have been a photographer, a natural lifestyle photographer for 15 years. I started teaching paint night in 2018, where I go to different venues and I do the paint and sips.
Right.
Um, and then on the weekends, I work at a vineyard, and then I also clean an Airbnb on the side. And
I'm not, you got kids, and I'm like, when do you sleep? That's so much. That is so much you got going on there.
have
Out of all these different things you got your hands in, what is like your main one, your main passion that you got right now?
I would have to say that I am having a lot of fun with the Chaos and Coffee with Victoria. It really allows me to be my true, fun, sarcastic, sometimes a hot mess self.
Right.
And it allows me to inspire others. It lets me heal, and it reminds me that laughter and humor can really connect people,
Hmm.
and inspiring moms and making them laugh has just been really, really rewarding for me.
So, what inspired you to start your own business? Like, what really inspired you to go down this path of your own business?
I'm not a 9 to 5 girl. I really never have been. I'll be honest, I can't sit still. My brain is always on overdrive, if it doesn't have an off switch. So I'm constantly thinking of ways to make money or help people. The photography started when I had my son. I literally picked up a camera and just went with it. I just started taking pictures. And I remember the first wedding I did was like $200. And now, 15 years later, it's obviously way more than that.
Wow.
Um, and then the paint night, I always love being creative and having that outlet. And my gut just told me, try it, give it a go. And I went to a restaurant and said, hey, can I host a paint night? And it exploded. So
Wow.
it's more like I get these intuitions to try something, or I get an idea that I have a passion or I really like, and I go for it.
So let me ask you this question here. Let's take a step back. What, as far as in your personal journey, like tell me some of the things that happened through your life that you want to share that help uplift you and get this fire burning, if you don't mind.
So if you watch my content, I'm very open about my traumas. I lost my mom when I was 14. It was days before I went into high school. Um, and then I actually lived on my own in high school. So I grew up very, very fast. And it made me the person that I am today.
Hmm.
It shaped me into who I am, and it made me stand on my own 2 feet. But it was battles like that that just made me who I am.
So you went through some stuff. I mean, one first of all, my condolences to your mother. I also lost my mother at a young age as well. It is never something that we want to see anybody go through that, especially at a young child age. Like what, obviously that's puts a fire under anybody's butt at all. Um, going through this right here. Can you take me back to when you were like, you know what, I can do this. I'm going to do this. What gave you that confidence and said, you know what, damn it, I'm going to stand up and I'm going to do what I want to do.
I think it happened after just being beaten down so many times, whether it was just relationships or, my own self destruction and drinking too much or losing my self worth. I think that any downfall I had in life, it gave me just fire and my grit and grind and hustle.
Hmm.
And it shaped me into someone I didn't want to be. And I just fought for a better person.
So let me ask you this question: would you say that you're like an avid? person that is really into mental health and awareness and stuff like that?
Percent. I am a huge advocate for mental health. I go to therapy twice a week. It's my saving grace. It's my priority. It's something that I think needs to be advocated for a lot more.
Right,
Um,
right,
you know, my kids are watching me, and that kind of was my turning point too, because I didn't want my kids to see a broken mom. I wanted my kids to see a mom who got back up and fought hard.
right. So through your journey right here, why do you feel it is very important that all of us need to be able to talk to somebody and like a therapist? Why do you feel like that's a very big impact cornerstone for everybody?
Truly believe that sometimes silence creates shame. And I think that people think that if they have to ask for help, that they think, "Oh, there's something wrong with me. Oh my God, people are going to know my downfalls, my faults." And that's not the truth at all. Healing and getting help is the strongest thing you could ever do in life.
All right, right, right. So let me ask you this: a dream. What is one of your dream careers, or what would you like to do as like in the future? What's your goals?
So I'm actually currently working on and I'm doing the research for it. I would love to open up my own nonprofit. I even have a name for it. I want to call it Bloom CT, and it would be a nonprofit for women where I essentially would be able to pay for their therapy, um, and do, empowering women's events throughout the year and just be a huge advocate and a supporter for them.
Is this for domestic violence that we're talking about?
More for mental health. This would be for more like women that want to get help, but they can't afford it, or they don't know how to do it. So it would be more of giving them resources and, me getting funding to basically just pay for it for up to like
Right.
3 months.
Okay. That sounds good. Now let me ask you this one right here. Let's go off just a little bit. If this dream came true tomorrow, what kind of event or program would you set up? Like, what would you have rolling?
So my therapist is actually like she's like an angel. She's such an advocate and such an empowering person. She wants me to do this. So I would definitely do like a free once a week support group for women where it's a safe place for women just to come in and vent, whether it be about their relationship, about their parenting, about they hate their job, whatever the case may be. And it's this safe outlet where they can just vent and let it out and let their voice be heard.
So, that sounds like a lot of good points right there. Let me ask you this question as far as why do you feel that what made you really want to step up and say, you know what, I'm going to be the voice for women out there? Do you don't feel that there's enough available out there, or what do you feel about that? Like, you think these resources are not available, or people don't realize these resources are out there?
I think they're out there. I think sometimes that people need their own circle though. So by keeping it local, like I would probably start in my local town, um, and letting people, women especially, feel safe. I mean, a lot of people don't know how to hear their own voice, and that's why I went to therapy because I now have a voice. I used to hate leaving a voicemail on a phone. I had such bad anxiety. And
Right.
now I am creating content all over the internet, So if women have a voice and have confidence and know that it's okay for their voice to be heard and their feelings to be felt, then they're going to be healing and get doing better in the world.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. With all these different paths that you have going on, is there any type of mottos that you live by or anything at
I
all?
currently live by, if you follow my content, it is sip the coffee, embrace the mess, and never give up. In my
Okay.
space, we live loud, laugh hard, and we don't stop.
Wow, that is amazing. With this journey right here, have you had any things that you have seen that made it very difficult with your businesses? Have you found anything where you're like, you know what, maybe I need to fold up this businesses or anything? Have you had anything like
I'm
that
not gonna
happen?
lie. There's gonna be always someone that has something to say. There's always going to be someone that's like, her content's cringe as fuck. There's going to
Right.
be the people that always have something to say, but people like that just empower me to work harder. And I
As
wear
be
many hats. I do. I wear many hats, but I love giving 100%. But I know my own boundaries thanks to therapy too, and I know when to take a hat off and cool it. So um, that's
that's your path. That's your journey right there. So let me ask you this right here. When it gets down to it, when you get on social media, do you feel like all these different social media platforms have helped you out a lot since you've been involved with them?
as far as confidence. Yes. I mean, like I said, I used to have such bad anxiety. I couldn't even look at my shadow. I couldn't go on a swing set. I couldn't
Hmm.
hear my own voice. And now, like, I'm putting myself out there. I'm being my true, authentic self. And I'm not giving a shit what people think about me. I'm
And
not, they don't pay my bills. They don't,
right,
they're not under my roof.
right.
You know, it's me getting to be free. It's me getting to heal. If I can make one person smile or one person inspired, that it doesn't put a band-aid on a bullet hole. It heals something for me. And that's all that matters.
That's amazing. That really is, Victoria. That is, let me ask you another question here. For anybody that's listening out there, they feel stuck, lost, unsure of their worth. Do you got any message for them out there? What little piece of advice that you can give anybody?
Don't be scared. I mean, you speak your truth, and if you're going through something, go through it hard. I think I've gone through every phase in life. I've gone through my drinking phase, my hoe phase, my fitness phase, and you have to go through it hard. And you have to go through it until the universe has taught you that lesson. Um, but go through it until you come out shining and on top.
Awesome. That is awesome. So let me ask you this question before I let you go. What is next for Victoria on her next agenda? What's the next adventure for you?
So I do have a little, I don't know, my therapist is like, if you don't start this business, she's like, I'm going to be so mad. So I do. I loved themed things, and I don't want to put too much out there, but I loved themed things. And I have a name picked out, but basically it's setting up dates where it's the blankets, the pillows, it's the lanterns, it's the lights, and then including pictures on top of that. So basically, setting up proposals, whether it's for engagement, prom,
Ah,
all different
that
types
sounds
of things.
cool.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
cool.
pretty excited about it. We'll see what happens. But I mean, I don't want to put too many eggs in my basket. I obviously wear many hats, and I'm trying to balance, not even balance. I have my own rhythm. So some days my kids need me too much, and some days my businesses need me. And sometimes I just need me. I just need my coffee and my chaos. So I develop a rhythm to
You
balance it.
feel like so self-worth is something that you really pay attention in and you
Oh,
focus in
self-worth
on
and
yourself.
self-love, 100%.
And
Self-worth and
let me
self-love.
ask you this question. Do you also treat yourself and like get a pedicure,
I
manicure,
did.
anything like that?
I did. So I do. I'm a huge petty pincher, like we talk about on TikTok sometimes in my live. And I do. I make sure I budget, $300 a month for me to do whatever I want for myself. It is strictly for me, whether it's a pedicure, it's eyelashes, it's a massage, whatever I want, I do it for myself.
That's awesome. That really is awesome. You know what? This is a very inspirational story here. If anybody out there would like to get a hold of you and talk to you, what are some of the ways that they can reach out to you?
So I am on all the platforms. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. And I have an email. It's just chaos and coffee with Victoria at gmail.com. So
Okay.
any of those ways you can contact me.
Okay. What state are you in, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in Connecticut.
Connecticut. Okay. Okay. That's cool. You know what? Hey, listen, this has been a great interview. I appreciate you taking the time and talking to me today. I really do wish you the best,
Thank you.
and I know you'll be doing a lot of success.
Thank you so much.
All right, y'all. This is Shed Talk, and that was another good interview. Have a good one.